1992, shortly after the end of his first year at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry during the first film, Harry spends a dreadful summer at the Dursleys' house without being allowed to use magic outside of school, nor receiving any letters from his new friends. Ron and Hermione, both of whom he is unable to contact because neither his Aunt Petunia nor Uncle Vernon would allow their nephew's pet owl Hedwig out of her padlock cage. On the evening of his 12th birthday, July 31, he is visited in his room and warned that he will be in mortal danger if he returns to Hogwarts by a house elf named Dobby, who reveals that he has intercepted all of the letters to make it seem as though Harry's friends had forgotten him, hoping that it will then dissuade Harry from returning. But Harry ignores the warning and is determined to seize the letters. So Dobby, seeing that he will have to use force, heads downstairs and destroys a large cake that Petunia has baked for an important dinner party, which Vernon is holding downstairs for the family of his client Mr. Mason by the use of a hover charm, dropping it on Mrs. Mason's head. Robbed of this one chance that could have been the turning point of his career as director of the drill company Grunnings, Vernon imprisons Harry by fitting bars onto his bedroom window to restrict him from returning to Hogwarts for his second year as punishment. The next night, Ron and his older brothers Fred and George come to Harry's rescue in an enchanted Ford Anglia belonging to their father, head of the Ministry of Magic's misuse of Muggle artifacts office Arthur Weasley. After a pleasant stay together in the Weasley home, the Burrow, Harry accompanies the family on a trip through the Flu Network to buy some first-year school supplies for Ron's younger sister Ginny Weasley in Diagon Alley, where they encounter Hermione and Hogwarts half-giant gamekeeper Rubeus Hagrid while attending a book signing at Flourish and Blots for flamboyant celebrity author Gilderoy Lockhart, who was recently appointed to teach at Hogwarts as the school's new defense against the dark arts professor. After the signing, the trio run into their school rival, the Slytherin Draco Malfoy, and his father, Chief Hogwarts Governor Lucius Malfoy, who manages to slip a diary into Ginny's belongings while arguing with Mr. Weasley about the latter's recent Muggle Protection Act for the Ministry. The trio and Weasley children head to Platform 934 at King's Cross to take the Hogwarts Express back to school. But Dobby seals the barrier between platforms 9 and 10 on Harry and Ron and makes them miss the train as a loophole. However, the two boys instead fly to Hogwarts in the Ford Anglia, which unfortunately runs out of fuel for its invisibility booster when it catches up to the train, allowing the flying car to be seen by numerous Muggles, and crashes into the Whomping Willow on the school grounds. Ron's wand is damaged, and the semi-sentient car ejects them with their belongings before disappearing into the Forbidden Forest. School caretaker Argus Filch brings them before Potions Professor Severus Snape, who shows them the sightings of the car on the Evening Prophet and threatens to have them expelled. However, famed Hogwarts headmaster Albus Dumbledore and his deputy headmistress, Transfiguration Professor Minerva McGonagall, intervene by deciding that they will instead be sanctioned with detention. Harry soon finds he is the unwanted center of attention of three people due to being famous. Lockhart, who wants to boost Harry's fame, Colin Creevey, who takes a picture with Harry, and Ginny, who has a huge crush on Harry. However, while serving detention with Lockhart on Halloween, events take a turn for the worse when Harry hears strange voices and later finds the petrified body of Filch's cat, Mrs. Norris, hanging on a torch clamp. On the wall near it is a message written in blood announcing that the Chamber of Secrets has been opened and that enemies of the heir should take caution. Unknown to everyone, a monstrous creature stalks the castle, with the power literally to petrify several students. During a transfiguration class, McGonagall explains that according to legend, one of the school's founders, Salazar Slytherin, built a secret chamber and sheltered a monster in it before leaving the school for good. Only his heir can open the chamber and use the monster to purge impure-blooded wizards and witches whom Salazar deemed unworthy to study magic. More attacks occur over the course of the year. Harry and Ron suspect Malfoy is the heir, so Hermione suggests they question him while disguised using Polyjuice Potion. Their makeshift laboratory is in a disused bathroom haunted by the ghost of a former Hogwarts student named Myrtle Warren, whom the school community addresses as Moaning Myrtle. During the dueling lesson hosted by Snape and Lockhart, Malfoy conjures a cobra which menaces at a Hufflepuff student named Justin Finch Fletchley. Harry manages to control the snake by inadvertently revealing his ability to speak a serpent language known as Parseltongue before Snape vanishes the carnivorous reptile. This causes the school to suspect that Harry is the heir of Slytherin. Unknowingly, Harry managed to gain the rare ability on the night Lord Voldemort failed to kill him when the former was still an infant. On Christmas, the trio used Polyjuice Potion brewed by Hermione to disguise themselves as Slytherin students Vincent Crabbe, Gregory Goyle, and Millicent Bulstrode, hoping to learn from Malfoy the identity of the heir. Unfortunately, the hair that Hermione took from Millicent Bulstrode's uniform was from a cat, and as the Polyjuice Potion is only intended for human transformations, she assumes a feline appearance, leaving Harry and Ron to ask information by themselves. At the Slytherin common room, they learn that Malfoy does not know who the heir of Slytherin is. But he inadvertently provides Harry and Ron with an important clue about the Chamber of Secrets that his father told him. A girl died when the chamber was last opened 50 years ago. As the potion begins to wear off, the duo discover Hermione's feline appearance and that it would take a little more than a month to restore her to normal human form. Before Hermione is released from the hospital wing in early February with her normal appearance restored, Harry finds an enchanted diary owned by a former student named Tom Marvolo Riddle, which shows him a flashback to the year 1943, exactly 50 years before. In the flashback, Harry witnesses 4 wizard authorities carry away Myrtle Warren's corpse from Hogwarts, and Riddle, trying to find the problem, accused Hagrid, then a student, of opening the chamber and freeing the alleged resident monster, a giant spider named Aragog. Riddle's actions caused Hagrid's expulsion later on. The attacks increased throughout the year, petrifying more students, including Hermione. When the diary disappears and Harry and Ron are shown by McGonagall the petrified body of Hermione, Harry and Ron go to Hagrid to question him. But before they can do, Professor Dumbledore, Cornelius Fudge, the British Minister for Magic, and Lucius Malfoy come to take Hagrid to Azkaban. But he discreetly tells the boys to follow the spiders and take care of his pet dog Fang. Lucius then has Dumbledore suspended. In the Forbidden Forest, Harry and Ron, accompanied by Fang, meet Aragog, who reveals Hagrid's innocence and informs them of the discovery of a girl's corpse in a bathroom before giving a clue of the resident monster which he and his species fear and never speak of. Aragog then sets his colony of Acromantula on the boys, but the now wild Ford Anglia saves them. A torn book page in Hermione's hand identifies the resident monster as a basilisk, a giant serpent that instantly kills those who make direct eye contact with it and only petrifies those who see it indirectly. Piecing the evidence together, Harry and Ron find out about the cause of petrification of Colin, Justin, the ghost nearly headless Nick, Hermione, and Mrs. Norris. Colin had his camera. Justin saw it, though nearly headless Nick, wherein the latter absorbed the force, while Hermione and Mrs. Norris saw it through a reflection, the former having a mirror and the latter looking on a puddle of water. The duo also discover that the basilisk used the school's plumbing, and from Aragog's statements the previous night, they realize that Moaning Myrtle was the girl found in the bathroom. The teachers discover a new message written on a wall declaring that Ginny Weasley has been taken into the chamber, where her skeleton will lie forever, and convince Lockhart to save her. Harry and Ron find Lockhart, exposed as a fraud who wipes clean other wizards' memories and claims their achievements, planning to flee. Knowing Myrtle was the girl the basilisk killed, they drag him to her bathroom where they discover the chamber's entrance behind a circular column of sinks, a pipe big enough for a man to crawl through. The trio jump through the hole and land in a series of cavernous maze-like crypts and dungeons. Following the tunnels, they find a shed basilisk skin wherein Lockhart feigns a collapse to seize Ron's broken wand and use it to erase Harry and Ron's memories. But as Lockhart casts the memory-erasing spell, it backfires onto himself, wiping his memory. The force of the spell also causes a portion of the ceiling to cave in, separating Harry from Ron and Lockhart. Harry ventures further to the tunnels and finds a circular door which is the entrance to the chamber itself. He enters the chamber where he finds an unconscious Ginny. As Harry tries to examine the body, he is greeted by the ghostly memory of the 16-year-old Tom Riddle. After Riddle reveals to Harry that he is the memory preserved in the diary, he adds that he manipulated Ginny to open the chamber and write the bloody messages on the walls, and how the diary traumatized her in February wherein she disposed it. Riddle then reveals his full name, Tom Marvolo Riddle, and the anagram he fashions out of it which reveals, "I am Lord Voldemort." At this point, Harry learns that Voldemort's real name was that of Riddle himself and was the true heir of Slytherin. Riddle reveals more on how he imprinted his 16-year-old self as memory in an enchanted diary in order to one day continue the failed work of his ancestor, which he began when he opened the chamber 50 years ago, ridding Hogwarts of impure-blooded witches and wizards. He also adds on how he framed Hagrid for the attacks, and how he would make his new pseudonym a feared name in the wizarding community, and how he would replace Dumbledore as the greatest sorcerer. After Harry expresses support for both Dumbledore and Hagrid, Dumbledore's Phoenix, Fawkes, flies in with the Sorting Hat. In an attempt to kill Harry, Riddle unleashes the Basilisk from the statue of Salazar Slytherin himself, but Fawkes arrives and blinds the Basilisk, destroying its fatal gaze. After a short chase and Harry's diversion, Harry returns to re-examine Ginny. Tom Riddle's memory grows more powerful as it steals life from Ginny's body. The Basilisk emerges from the pool of the chamber, and while Harry tries to find other means of fighting, the sword of Godric Gryffindor materializes from the Sorting Hat. Climbing the statue of Salazar Slytherin, he duels with the Basilisk and manages to kill the monstrous creature by impaling the roof of its mouth with the sword. However, one of the creature's fangs pierces Harry's sword arm as a result of the latter's killing move. Harry manages to remove the fang as he and Riddle watch the Basilisk slam dead to the chamber's floor, as Harry is slowly being poisoned. He uses his remaining energy to stab the diary with the Basilisk's fang, and the memory of Tom Riddle is destroyed, while Ginny revives from her near-death state. As Harry advises Ginny to get out of the chamber with Ron, Fawkes comes to heal Harry with his tears, which have healing powers. Ginny and Harry both recover fully, along with those who were petrified. Hermione, Mrs. Norris, Justin Finch Fletchley, Nearly Headless Nick, and Colin Creevey. The next morning, Harry realizes it was Lucius Malfoy who slipped the diary into Ginny's cauldron when he encountered the Weasleys in a Diagon Alley bookshop. But he is unable to prove it. Dobby reveals he is the Malfoys' servant, and knowing their treachery, had been trying to protect Harry all year. In gratitude, Harry sticks one of his old socks into the diary and hands it to Lucius. Lucius gives the diary to Dobby, who finds the sock hidden in its pages. This constitutes, in Dobby's eyes, a gift of clothing, the traditional manner in which a master frees a house elf from servitude. The freed Dobby declares he is eternally grateful to Harry and protects him from an attempted reprisal from Lucius. The word Avada is used as the beginning of Lucius Malfoy's curse, suggesting that it is the Avada Kedavra curse, the killing curse. Dumbledore dispels Harry's fears that he could have been put into Slytherin rather than into Gryffindor when he tells Harry that it is his choices that define him and not his abilities, and that Harry could not have wielded the sword of Gryffindor if he did not truly belong to that house. At the end of the year feast, everyone who was petrified is revived, including Hermione, who is finally reunited with Harry and Ron. Dumbledore announces that all the exams have been cancelled and Hagrid is released from Azkaban, receiving loud cheers and applause from everyone except a few students of Slytherin House.